Does someone have to tell you if somebody died in the property that you're buying or renting? Find out the answer to that and a bunch more on this episode of Unbillable. We're back. Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode of Unbillable. I am everybody except for the opposing party's favorite California licensed attorney, Amir Afsar, and I appreciate you joining me for what will hopefully be an exciting episode of Unbillable. I took a little time off between our last episode because last week, about this time last week, we posted our inspirational keynote address. Hopefully you've taken some time to watch that. It's not technically an episode of Unbillable, but it is here on our channel, and if you've subscribed, and you definitely should subscribe, if you've subscribed, you probably got a notification, and hopefully you took some time to watch that inspirational keynote. You know, that was probably the largest room I've ever spoken in front of. I shouldn't say probably. That was definitely the largest room I've ever spoken in front of, and I'm looking forward to doing more and more public speaking and engagements like that. I had a good time with that speech, and like I said, I look forward to doing some more of those. But this is Unbillable, so we're not here to just talk about inspirational things. We're here to talk about legal topics, and believe it or not, today I had the same question come through my door 2 different times, and I figured that's enough for an episode of Unbillable in my book, so here we are. Today's episode, I want to talk about this. What do you do when somebody dies in your rental property? What is your legal obligation to tell future buyers, future renters, about the death that took place in your property? Is there any obligation at all? So if you look at California real estate law, there's a number of things that must be disclosed, a number of things that are disclosed based on the value of the property, things that are material to that value or would be considered material to the buyer of that property, and whether or not somebody died in the property, it's probably going to meet those standards. It's going to be one of the things that a buyer might care about. So whether or not someone has died in the property is something that you do have to disclose. In fact, California's Civil Code specifically references that if somebody has died in the property in the last 3 years, you got to disclose that to any potential buyer or renter. 3 years from the date of their death. So you got it here, right here on Unbillable, no cost to you whatsoever. If you're looking to rent or sell a property that somebody has died in, you got to disclose that death and the manner of the death from 3 years from the date of that death. Now, that's the rule here in California, and of course, I'm sure you've seen the little running disclaimer. The rules might be different in your jurisdiction, but here in sunny, beautiful California, that's the rule that we follow, 3 years from the date of the death. I hope this has been something enjoyable for you. More importantly, I hope you'll take the time to take a look at that keynote. I'm really proud of that speech, and I would love for our viewers to take the time to watch it. So, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here, and if you like this episode of Unbillable, if you've got something to add, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So with that, thanks so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Unbillable. Woo! Shades on. Get my stunner shades on.